Hello, this is Marcus Montemare. Today is December 4th, 2018. This is week 6 of my anatomy and physiology class. And in this week, I will be pretending to eat a cheeseburger and describe what happens to the cheeseburger during the digestive process. Okay, so let's say I have a cheeseburger. I take a bite of it. The food is in my oral cavity, and my incisors and my canines and my molars are ripping through the food, breaking it down. And as it's breaking it down, I have salivary glands like the submandibular gland, the parotid gland, and the sublingual gland that release saliva, which has enzymes like amylase and lipase. Amylase like breaks down starches um, and carbohydrates, while uh, lipase breaks down fatty acids. And once once the bolus is small enough, my uvula would close and the food would enter into the larynx. And once it's in the larynx, it goes down. The larynx is right close to the pharynx, so the pharynx shuts off at the epiglottis, and you have a sort of apnea. And then from there, the bolus goes down through through a form called peristalsis, where it just moves the bolus down, and it um, moves the food down to the esophagus. The esophagus keeps on going until it hits the cardiac sphincter, which is in between the stomach and the esophagus. The cardiac sphincter allows passage of food into the stomach. So, and damage to the sphincter would cause things like GERD, which is it's like heartburn. It's a gastroesophageal reflux disease. And then once in the stomach, the food starts to churn in another form of peristalsis called um, wave mixing. And then it does that until food is broken really down, and then it would reach the fundus of the stomach, and then at the end of the fundus would be a sphincter called it called the uh, pyloric sphincter, and then from there the pyloric sphincter would relax, which would release some chyme into the the duodenum. Uh, oh, and then it would close back again. And once the chimes in the duodenum, here's where the liver and the gallbladder really come in place. The gallbladder and the liver create bile, and they create bile and relay the bile through the common hepatic duct. There's different ducts, and then they all branch into one common hepatic duct, which reaches uh, the chyme. Another accessory gland that helps with the breakdown of food is the pancreas. The pancreas is known for like endocrine as an endocrine organ, but it also helps with the digestive system, which uh, it has a CNR cells that create pancreatic enzymes which are released into the duodenum and break down chyme even further. So the chyme is part of the small intestine, which includes the uh, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Once it's past the duodenum and into the jejunum. Here is where where most of the sugars and waters and acids uh, are absorbed. And then finally, as it makes its way to the ileum, that's where all of the rest of the vitamins, the fatty solubles are absorbed. And then from there, there's a little pocket called a little valve called the ileo, ileocecal sphincter. From here, the chyme would enter it and enter the cecum, and then it would go up the large intestine, which is the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and the sigmoid colon, which is like an S. In the large intestine, the body will absorb as much water and substances as it needs, calcium and other types of vitamins. This is what gives our stool like the hard like structure, because all the water is absorbed from it, and then finally, as it makes its way to the sigmoid colon, it is released by defecation. So, yep.